Well, church leaders in Europe have issued a welcoming message to the new country in charge of a group within the European Union. The Commission of the Bishops' Conferences of the European Union, also known as COMECE, says it looks forward to working with the country of France, which took over the presidency of the European Council on New Year's Day. The country previously in charge was Slovenia. Joining us now from Belgium is Father Manuel Barrios Prieto, General Secretary of COMECE. Father, thank you for your time today. What are your hopes for the working relationship between COMECE and the new president of the European Council?
Well, I think my hopes are very good for the moment. I think we have worked quite hard in the past years, and now we have this French presidency of the European Council, and the priorities that it has set, I think, are important, are quite logical. The recovery from the pandemic, the growth in Europe, a sovereign Europe. And there's a third priority that the French presidency has suggested, and it has to do with values, with democracy, with humanism. So I think there's a good possibility for collaboration between the Church and the French presidency of the European Council. So I'm quite hopeful in this moment.
And what are some of maybe the big events that your group is working on?
Well, we have to follow very closely the policies that the European Union is going to propose for the recovery from the pandemic. And as we do, we're following very closely social and economic policies, migration and asylum, and freedom of religion. We're very also near and following very closely external relations of the European Union, the partnership with Africa, the eastern border, the question of the Western Balkans. So all this we're going to follow, as is our work, to follow the European Union policies. But there are some events that are quite important in the very near future. For example, there's going to be the election of the new president of the European Parliament in mid-January, and that's a very important, I think, issue for the future of the European Union. The Parliament is a very important institution, so we're going to follow that very closely. We have an important meeting of religious leaders with the Commission in mid-January, so that's also an important event. And then as COMECE, as the Commission of the Bishops' Conference of the European Union, we're preparing a social days in Bratislava in mid-March, and that will be a very important meeting for us because there are going to be representatives from the Bishops' Conference of the European Union in Bratislava and the rest of Europe. And we're going to discuss the recovery from the pandemic and important issues like its climate change, like its digitalization, like its demographic change that is taking place in Europe.
Absolutely. And the situation obviously is pretty critical right now in Europe. What else will you all be doing to help Catholics face this long emergency?
Well, we try to work together with the churches in the different countries, in the member states of the European Union. We try also to follow very closely the European policies in this area. We try to advocate for solidarity and sharing, as the European Union is doing. We also try to work against fake news. That is very important, also in the religious sphere. So I think we're trying to do our best also to collaborate with the institutions in this very important issue of the pandemic and its recovery.
Well, Father, thank you so much for your time today speaking with us, and thank you for all that you do. Father Manuel Barrios Prieto, General Secretary of COMECE. Thank you again.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you to you.